I can't believe it. Into our booth comes the San Diego Chicken. In life. Big as life, twice his size, in uniform, the whole schmear. As I said, I had hoped to grow up maybe and interview people like Muhammad Ali and Howard Cosell, and who do I end up interviewing? I'm talking to a chicken. Welcome to Cincinnati. What do I call you? Chicken? Chick for short what?
Oh, you can call me Ray, or you can call me Jay, or you can call me RJ, but you don't have to call me Mister.
Well,
no, I'll tell you what, you can call, in real life, I'm Ted Gianoulis, Bob, but you can call me whatever you like, and I've been called all kinds of things.
All right, Ted, welcome to Cincinnati. You have never been here before. This is a first for the San Diego Chicken in Cincinnati.
That's right, and I tell you, I'm really looking forward to it. I've never been so close to Kentucky, and as long as
What do you mean never so close to Kentucky? Are you a Kentucky basketball fan too?
No. Us chickens like to avoid Kentucky at all costs.
Oh, I see. Listen, I got some bad news for you, my friend. Do you know what they have on the menu tonight in the press box?
I heard. I had to run through as fast as I could.
I'm looking right into the eyes of this chicken like he's about to wink or whatever else. Well, let's try to back up a little bit. How long ago did you start this shtick you got with the chicken?
Believe it or not, I started way back in '74, so now I guess I'm a veteran of 6.5 years.
6.5 years as
Yep.
the chicken.
Yep.
How many Major League parks have you visited?
Oh boy. I think out of the, I guess there's 26 cities, I've probably been to about 20 of the cities.
20 of the cities. And this being the 20th?
Yes, this being the 20th.
Let me make it easy on you. Where haven't you been?
Well, I haven't been to Boston and Pittsburgh, and let's see. Trying to think off the top of my comb here. What else? Where I haven't been to well, let me see. I've been to Milwaukee, but not for baseball. I've been there for basketball, but I really can't think of it. Oh, Baltimore, and there's maybe Oakland, and that's about it, I think.
Obviously, you are not just an entertainer for baseball. That you have events all year long for all kinds of sports, correct?
That's right. I'm a bird for all seasons.
A bird for all seasons.
That's right.
Oh,
so,
Jesus.
I'll tell you, Bob, after baseball season concludes, and this is my final baseball game of the season until I might be doing some winter baseball down in Caracas or maybe in Puerto Rico. But this is my final baseball game, and then I just move into basketball, and there's some collegiate football I'll be doing, and can't forget hockey. And I always do parades and shopping centers and things like that, of course.
I think it's interesting to note, too, that we called you, Ted, out in San Diego.
I recall, that's right.
Yes, and the lady answered the phone, and she said, thank you for calling the chicken. You really have a very healthy business going now as this young man who does all kinds of strange things on the field or on the court or in a parade, anywhere.
Well, I'm like a free agent chicken now. You know, I'm trying to wing it on my own, as we say. And
you're too much. I'm telling you now. Wait a minute. How many events do you participate in a year?
Oh, I'll make about 350 appearances in the course of a calendar year very easily. And about half of those are in San Diego and the other half are across the country because I do get a tremendous amount of requests to visit. As a matter of fact, I just finished a tour cross country, a nationwide tour that took me to 55 cities in 62 days. And that was a lot of fun. It was strenuous activity, but I really enjoyed meeting so many people coast to coast.
Yeah. Is there any particular incident as the chicken over the last 6 years that stands out in your mind as maybe one that is better than all the rest, where it was either good or bad for you, Ted?
Well, I'll tell you, Bob, without fear of contradiction, beak and tail above all others, I have to say that when I had my grand hatching at San Diego Stadium in June of 1979 to debut my new chicken fur of the 80s, my new chicken feather. My new chicken feathers, 47,000 people turned out and gave me a 10-minute standing ovation. I burst out of a gigantic styrofoam egg. And
you were carried onto the field by San Diego Padre players,
that's
too,
right.
were you not?
And I came onto the field itself by police escort and on top of an armored truck, and then the players carried me off the truck onto the diamond itself, and I burst out of the egg, and I tell you, I was literally chilled with the warmest reception I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Well, you made a very grand entrance here in Cincinnati. You got off the plane in your outfit. You're by limousine taken down to Riverfront Stadium. You have a police escort with sirens going and lights and everything else. I mean, you've been very graciously treated here in Cincinnati already.
Well, no question. It's really something. I'm surprised, and wow, it was really quite a welcoming committee, no doubt about it. But
Do people try to get the chicken's autograph? Do they want your autograph?
oh, certainly, and I'm very obliging. And as
How do you sign it?
The chicken.
The chicken, just
Sure.
the chicken.
Sure. Sinatra's just Frank. Presley's just Elvis. I'm just the chicken.
Where do you go from here, Ted?
From here, I go down to Arkansas, believe it or not, for an amusement park grand opening that they got there. And then it's back to San Diego for a few days. And then next week, I'll be in Washington, D.C. for some Capitals hockey. And then to start the NHL season. And then I go to Atlanta for the Hawks basketball home opener in the NBA.
Ted, seriously, how old are you?
In real life, 26 years old.
What do you mean in real life, 26?
Well, in chicken years, that breaks down to 6.5.
6.5, okay. How long do you think you can keep this up? I mean, is this a thing that you can do until age 50?
You know, when I hear that question, I always wonder what Walt Disney said when he was asked how long his mouse on a piece of paper would last. And that's a good question. I think I've got the stamina and the energy, Bob, to go for at least another 3.5 years. I'd like to put in a nice round 10-year chicken career and then look back on it after that. And who knows, maybe I can reduce it to cartoon form and make it a 50-year thing just like Walt Disney.
Yeah, or maybe you could you could have son of chicken, daughter of chicken, and they could tour. I mean,
Well,
you could be like the Flying Walindas, right?
Perhaps, but this is one chicken that probably won't franchise. Yeah.
Oh, jeez, this is amazing. Is there one place that you haven't been as a performer that you would like to be as a performer?
Yeah, I think so, and that is probably the city of Boston. I haven't been there for anything, and that it's one of the few towns, as a matter of fact, the only town now I can think of outside of Pittsburgh, but I mean, the one major town that I've never really been to that I'd like to go to, because the energy of the fans is really something there. And I see like the American League's version of Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I have a feeling that if you were a baked bean, you probably have a lot better chance to appear in Boston.
Yeah, maybe.
How long are you going to be here? Just tonight for the game, and then you'll leave tomorrow?
That's right. I fly out first thing in the morning.
Do you have any idea how many miles you fly a year in being the San Diego chicken around the country?
I would estimate it's about 200,000 miles.
200,000
I put in quite a bit of traveling, and believe it or not, it's a little more than the ball players, because when a team comes in, they might come into town for 3 or 4 days, and I'll come in just for the single night and then move on to the next town.
Yeah. I don't want to ask you how much money you make, but are you making a very good living from being the chicken?
Well, it used to be chicken feed. And as a matter of fact, after Uncle Sam takes his piece, it still is chicken feed.
It still is chicken feed. But you do make a pretty good living at
Yeah.
26 years old and dressing up in a chicken outfit.
Well, let me tell you, only in America. You know, Bob, you get an idea, and it doesn't necessarily apply to a chicken outfit, but it can apply to whatever we're doing. I'm sure you recognize it as a football player. There aren't that many football players in the NFL.
Who would dress up like that? You're absolutely right. You're not going to find many.
Well, anyway, but you get it. You know, I just applied the old standard hard work American work ethic to what I was doing. You get an idea, you persevere, you dedicate yourself to it, you work hard, and believe it or not, you'll be rewarded if the people enjoy it enough. And
do you ever appear, Ted, as anything but the chicken in public? Has anybody ever seen you without the chicken outfit on?
Believe it or not, no, because I never allow for photographs outside the costume. I like the idea of the mystique behind the chicken. It's a fantasy character, kind of like a Batman thing. I can be public when I want to be public and private when I want to be private. And, there's a lot of things that go into that. I think that people appreciate that I kind of hide out in the chicken suit. And who knows, maybe one day I'll get an American Express commercial.
Well, you listen, wait a minute. You got things all lined up, don't you? You know exactly where you're going and what you're going to do. You drink beer? You make a great beer commercial, too. You'd have to drink light. The other thing I wanted to ask you is, do you live in San Diego in the off-season? Or you don't have an off-season, but do you live in San Diego?
Yeah, I live in San Diego. I make that kind of like my home base there, and I work
Your nest?
there. My nest.
As
Now
it-
there's one I missed.
Well,
You got one up on
I
me.
can't believe it because you haven't missed any other chance. Welcome to Cincinnati. Have a lot of fun. I think there's going to be a lot of people here in Riverfront Stadium that came to this ball game since the Reds are now out of it just to see the San Diego Chicken. I think we're very, very fortunate to have a young man like you who will perform your antics for us, and we're looking forward to it.
Well, I tell you, I wish I could do all my antics. Unfortunately, I won't be able to because the Reds have asked me not to go on the field.
Oh, you can't go on the field. I thought you were going to be able to go on the field.
Well, the Reds, they. Hello, I'm waving to someone down on the field there. Yeah, but nonetheless, no, the Reds have asked me just to kind of like restrict my activities from the field, and so for the most part, I'll be spending my time though with the fans up in the seats and on top of the dugouts and that sort of thing.
Okay. Well, nice talking to you, and I still can't believe I'm staring dead into the eyes of a chicken.
Well, thank you, Bob. You're very kind.
Ted Giannoulis, the San Diego Chicken in Riverfront Stadium tonight. We'll return with Sports Talk after this brief pause.